finding the odds given a probability is a lot more simple than it at first appears. So we have two ways that you can look at finding odds. You can either find the odds in favor, or you can find the odds against. Now we have one formula that we use, and that formula has its breakdown for both. So if we look right here at odds in favor, we have the probability of your event occurring divided by the probability of it not occurring. So in other words, what we're really looking at is we are looking at the probability of the event over its complement. Okay, so hence we have our mathematics. So here we have a to the little tick mark or apostrophe. That means your complement, and so you would set it up in that fashion. Now odds against is going to be the opposite or the reciprocal of it. So notice we're going to have the complement on top over the odds that the event occurs on the bottom. Now one thing that we have an English way that we like to look at these. In other words, when we're talking about odds in favor, you may see the setup as being the probability of event A to the probability of its complement. The other way that you could see it written is with words. You could see the probability of event A to the probability of your complement. Okay, so there's many ways that we can approach this idea. So we're going to look at a couple examples here, and we're going to be able to find the odds given our information. So first we have a single standard die. So what we have to remember about our dice is that we have a set, and that set includes the standard dice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we want to find the odds in favor of rolling a 4 or 5. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the probability that we are going to roll a 4 or a 5. So if you remember basic probabilities, that would be the number of outcomes in your event. So here we have 4 and 5, so that would be 2 outcomes over the number of outcomes total, 6. Well, in this case, what we are really looking at is we are looking at the number of outcomes. Now we also have to know the number of outcomes that you do not roll a 4 or a 5. And in that case, if we don't roll 4 or 5, that means we had to have rolled a 1, 2, 3, or 6. So those are 4 possibilities there. So in order to find the odds in favor, my odds in favor would be 2 to 4, which we could reduce to be the same as saying 1 to 2. Okay, and that's all we have to do. We're just simply looking at what those odds would be. Now if I wanted to find the odds against, it's the same thing. I already did all the work here, where I know that the probability of rolling my 4 or 5 is going to be 2, and the probability of not rolling it is going to be a 4. So in this case, when we're looking at your odds against, we would have 4 to 2, which we could reduce to say 2 to 1. Okay, so you have a 2 to 1 odds that you will not roll a 4 or 5. Okay. Now it really doesn't get any more complicated than that. So let's look at a couple of different examples, just so that you can see other ways to approach this. So here I've got this word problem. It says the winner of a raffle will receive a 2-night stay in a condo on a beach of their choice in Florida. If 1,000 raffle tickets were sold and you purchased 5 tickets, what are the odds against your winning the 2-night stay? So we want to find odds against. So again, the first thing we need to do is we need to find the probability of the event. So this is going to be that you have the winning ticket, and I have 5 tickets. Now we also need to know the probability of not having the winning ticket. Well, there were 1,000 tickets. You purchased 5 of them, which means the probability of not winning is going to give you 995. So in this case, to find your odds against, you would have 995 to 5, which again, just like before, we can reduce it down to 199 to 1, and those would be your odds against. Now this last example, we have a card randomly selected from a standard deck. Find the odds in favor of drawing a picture card. So when we're talking about a picture card here, we are talking about your face cards. So we want the probability of drawing a face card. So in this case, we have 12 faces. Therefore, the probability of not drawing a face card is going to be the 52 cards that we have minus the 12 faces. So in this case, it would be 40. Okay, so we have 12 picture cards. The rest of them, or non-face cards, are going to be the 40 that are remaining. Okay. Now with that, we would then have odds in favor. So your odds in favor, again, are going to be listed as the 12 face cards we have to the 40 cards remaining. Now just like before, we can reduce that down, and this would end up giving us a 3-to-10 ratio of drawing a face card. So that's really all there is about being able to find odds if you've been given information for a probability. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.